Amalgamnation. Before I get started on this week's review, I just want to say that I've decided on something to do with my reviews of games. I will not be showing major spoiler footage. Anything you see will happen near the start of the game or at the start of the game. You will not see events that take place deep into the game. I will not tell you how to get certain weapons or anything like that in my videos unless I'm doing a walkthrough video, which I have not decided if I will ever do something like that or not. That's to be decided at some stage in the future, if and when I ever decide I want to do that. Now, this is Dragon Age 2, and Dragon Age 2 does one thing that no other game that I have played has ever done before. This makes mages badass, and I don't mean it gives you something called a mage that is badass and does weird things. I mean it's a traditional mage, and you have mage staffs, and it makes the use of the mage staff so badass that you're looking at the basic attacks and thinking, wow, that looks amazing, and you're not thinking there's a big contrast between what a mage does with his basic attacks and what a mage does when they know a powerful spell and they cast it. There's interchange between the two. All things a mage does look badass in this, and that's a good thing for this particular game, because in Dragon Age 2 the story revolves around mages and Templars, and the battle between mages for seeking freedom and the Templars seeking to control the mages. But that's getting too into the storyline, and I don't want to give you spoilers, like I said. So one of the things about this game is the graphics looked amazing. Now, on the PC, you're going to get glitches. You get glitches with every single game out there for the PC. Like, there's a glitch that I think gets shown here in this vid. I can't remember, but if it does, the glitch is some characters seem to be headless, and I can't explain why, because in one playthrough the game was grand. In the next playthrough, I had headless characters. I had problems with meshes and textures and who knows what else. And it was the exact same installation. I hadn't installed any mods. In fact, I have no mods for this game installed on my system at all. I know that there are mods. I know a site where you can get mods for it. I don't know what they do. I've never used them, and I have no interest in using them, because for me, this game and this series of games is pretty good as it is. I don't want to improve upon it. I like the story, and I'm playing for the story. Now, that there is an ogre in my video on Dragon Age Origins. You've seen an ogre attacking as well, and actually you've seen it twice in that one. And you can see the graphical details are completely different in this. Now, it's still the same overall big brutish creature and everything like that, but you get more details. You can see an actual difference between a human and the darkspawn there. Humans actually have like muscles and skin and things like that, whereas the darkspawn seem to be a cross between a zombie and a vampire or something like that, as far as I can tell. In this, their skin is all sunken, they're grey, they look like they've crawled out of the pits of hell and come to destroy the world as you know it. And there's all kinds of interesting features. Like, the only thing I don't like comparing this to Dragon Age Origins is Dragon Age Origins, I could equip my rogue with any armour I wanted, and it was fairly easy to do. My rogue could have dual wielding swords on their back, 2 one-handed swords, one for each hand obviously, and that was great, and I liked that. And in this there was no such thing. In Dragon Age Origins also, you could have a mage learn to enchant weapons of your party with either ice or fire damage, and away you went, and you had extra damage attached to your weapon without having to use runes to put that as a permanent enchantment. This would only appear while you had the mage, and the mage had this spell active, eating up their mana. That doesn't happen in here. Also, in Dragon Age Origins, mages had a shape-shifting ability, and for some reason that's gone in Dragon Age 2. Just gone. No explanation. There's no mention of it having existed, and no mention at all. There's no story reason for it being gone. There's nothing there at all to suggest that that had ever existed. And there you had a headless guy. Told you glitches happen. I don't know why. In that particular playthrough, I had that glitch here, and then further on, I had another glitch where somebody I was talking to appeared to have no arms, and at one point, a mage, their staff appeared to just be a black line with a pointy bit sticking out from the side of it, but there was no actual staff there until later on, and then from that point on, the guy's staff was around for good. I have no explanation for what causes them glitches, but that's neither here nor there. And whoa, this is a long video. I didn't realize how long I'd made this particular vid. Sorry about the rambling there, but there's not much more I can say about this game. The graphics look great. The story is pretty good. It starts at the same time as Dragon Age Origins pretty much really starts. When you really start to play Dragon Age Origins, it's just after you've become a Grey Warden, and the big battle that takes place at the beginning of that against the Dark Spawn at Ostagar. Just after that, you go to a village called Lothering. I'm not going to bother calling this a spoiler because that all happens at the beginning of Dragon Age Origins. And none of that is a choice. You have to go to Ostagar. You have to go to Lothering. From that, after you go to Lothering, you can take control of the game and do what you want. But in this, you start off outside Lothering. You are escaping from the Darkspawn. You're in Ferelden, where Dragon Age Origins takes place. The Warden has just left Lothering just before you started this game, and you're off to the side. It's all taking place at the same time, pretty much, except for the events of Dragon Age Origins take place over a period of weeks and months, not years. Whereas this game will take place over a period of 10 years. Well, 9 or 10 years, I'm not sure, but it takes place over a period of years. You only get to control the character for about 6 or 7 weeks of those several years, and at the end of each chapter, it skips forward several years. So you finish chapter 1, and it goes forward 3 years. After you make your way safely to the place where the game actually begins to take off properly, where you're given choices about what to do and who to talk to and things like that, you skip forward 1 year. During that year, your character somehow built up a reputation as being a badass mercenary. Also, for some reason, if you're playing as a mage, nobody in a town full of people who hate and despise mages, some of them sympathize with mages and their plight, but they're all looking out for mages. Nobody seems to give a crap that you're a mage in it. Now, my review is coming to an end now, and I'm going to say this game, as I said, not Dragon Age 2 in my opinion, it's Dragon Age 1.5. If I was to give it a score out of 10, I'd give it 8 out of 10, because good graphics and okay storyline. The game wasn't quite long enough. Now remember, play to game and game to play.